Gnolls are very savage D&D monsters. I know every third monster is described as savage, so this can be hard to impress upon you. But imagine a bunch of disease-ridden mutts with rotten meat sitting in their teeth and stolen weapon in hand that clearly hasn't been cleaned since it was acquired, and blood stains covering its tattered clothes. Okay, now give them some prey fairy wings, because I needed subversion to make an episode. Gnolls are hyenas morphed by magic from the lower plane, but now they kinda wander the land, causing havoc. So I don't consider it unlikely that a pack could walk into the Feywild. The first change I went for was wings, which will grant the Fey-touched feat being copy-pasted over the monster stat block, giving them a single casting, a Misty Step, and a first level enchantment. I'm gonna go with Speak with Animals and hand them a bunch of hyena baddies who have pack tactics. How fun. Let's also boost their charisma to 14, have them take up grooming rituals, washing out their fur to a whiter shade because it turns out AI can't do the fairy wings that well. So what are these Fey-touched Gnolls up to? Probably raids of some variety. I picture a touch more individualism with the pack thanks to the Feywild's influence. So we're gonna break them up into a cell structure, then have them compete to destroy a chosen enemy. It's like the Gnoll Olympics, I want to win. We could really play up this games that they're playing against each other aspect, giving them rules and otherwise setting up regulations, which could really help reinforce the Feywild aspect of these altered Gnolls. This enemy might call for help dragging in the players. If the pack has been around for a while, heroes summoned might not even be a new occurrence to them, and maybe even being the one to slay a hero might have you rewarded with the great honor of a feast where they can eat a captive pixie. Perhaps I should add to this, sitting in a set of small iron cages in a Gnoll encampment will be 2d6 pixies. These are managed by the head of the pack and given as a reward to Gnolls that perform well. Eating one within 15 minutes of its death can enhance a Gnoll to our Fey equivalent of the Gnoll Pack Lord, and eating 5 like this will bring our character to our equivalent of the Gnoll Fang of Yaganoll. I surely said that wrong, which will mark the opportunity for this Gnoll to leave the pack and start their own. Fangs of Yaganoll have a detail I missed before, where if they slay an enemy and a hyena feasts on it, they become a full Gnoll. So this pack could very quickly spread whenever they find a home. Can make for something neat, as if one player dies and the others escape, the Gnoll that killed him grows in power, or if the players are attempting to talk with one of them and negotiate, they might be willing to betray the pack for free access to the pixies. While we are at it, I also wanted to drag in sprites because I think they're a fun stat block but aren't used enough. We're gonna give them a hairy variant that'll be basically a barbarian with wings, and these fellows often capture pixies to pull a goblin slayer. As a result, they ally themselves with Gnolls and can be found creating wooden houses on top of the hyenas in a pack. A single cell in this environment would likely look like 2 Gnolls, 4 hyenas, and a pair of evil sprites. The Gnolls standing in the back using longbows in open areas to try and pester the party before sending in the hyenas to slow them down from getting close. One of the hyenas has their little built fort on top of it for the evil sprites, which will use a poison bow to attempt to harm the party. This should make for a fairly intimidating first encounter before the players have to take the fight to the Gnoll encampment, which could have, I want to say 10 to 20 Gnolls, but you break them up and you make sure the encounters are balanced, of course. Check out the beaver goblins. I just felt like plugging that one today.